This is Dan, and this is the Napkin Academy. This lesson is the Visual Thinking Toolkit. And as we work on this toolkit, we're going to find that it begins to look an awful lot like the famous Swiss Army knife. Here's what this toolkit is all about. As consultants and as problem solvers, we often find ourselves in the position of coming into a room which is just full of people who have very high expectations of what we're going to be able to do as we start thinking through how to solve their problem. And as visual problem solvers, there's often going to be a big whiteboard in front of us. The reason why we need a toolkit is because we do not want to find ourselves in that position saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to draw. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. We do not want to be in that position. We want to be able to say, I know what to draw, I know how to think, and I know how to talk as I draw. And that's where our visual thinking toolkit is going to come in handy, because what it's going to allow us to do, the Swiss Army knife, is pull out the blades that we need conceptually so that we will be able to say, I know how to begin using my pictures to help you solve your problem. Here's what it looks like. It starts a lot like the Swiss Army knife. And if you're not familiar with the Swiss Army knife, of course, is that beautiful little red Victorinox knife that has a blade for every possible thing you might ever need. You know, what they say about a Swiss Army knife is, if you're stuck in the woods, you can find something to eat, you can slay the grizzly bear, and you can make a log cabin if you have nothing more than a Swiss Army knife. Heck, if you have a Swiss Army knife, you can repair an airplane in flight if that's what you need to do. So we want that Swiss Army knife that's going to help us know what to draw. And let's start with the first basic set of blades. The most basic thing, 3 essential blades. These are our built-in tools for visual problem solving. The things that we all have and the things that we're going to start with. Our eyes, we've all got them. Let's use them. Our mind's eye. We've all got it. Let's use it. And last, a little bit of hand-eye coordination, which again, we've all got. Let's go ahead and use it. Basic tools we're going to talk about as we go through. In fact, using all 3 of these, our eyes, our mind's eye, and a little hand-eye coordination, we're already doing that now. We're going to continue to do that as we draw all of our pictures and work through all of our exercises. The next set of blades on our Swiss Army knife, there's going to be 4 of them. And these blades we're going to come to recognize as the process of visual thinking. So when we walk into that room and we're a little bit wondering, well, how would I even begin to come up with a visual approach to this problem? The first thing that we're going to do is we're simply going to look at the problem. We're going to look at what's in front of us. And then we are going to see the patterns that are within what we just looked at. And then we're going to imagine how we can manipulate those patterns and make something better. And then once we've come up with something that's better, we're going to show it to that audience. This is the 4-step process of visual thinking. And we will spend a lot of time talking about that process, why we need it, and how to use it. The next tool is something that most Swiss Army knives do not have, and they probably should. This is a big pizza cutter wheel. This, believe it or not, folds right out of the back of our Swiss Army knife. Well, I told you this was conceptual. So I'd like you to take and divide that pizza cutting wheel up into 6 slices. Those are going to be the 6 slices that are going to tell us what problem are we looking at and what picture would we draw to help us think about that problem. And they are going to be W, H, W, W, H, W. What I mean by that is who and what. How much, where, when, how, and why. And we are going to spend a fair amount of time looking at these 6 types of problems and the 6 simple corresponding pictures that we can draw to clarify each one of them. The last tool that we'll have is another one that all Swiss Army knives should have. This is the one that we pull out when we're in a real emergency. This is the corkscrew. And I like to label the 5 twists on this corkscrew with the following 5 letters. S, Q, V, I, D. It's a kind of a sideways spelling of squid. S-Q-V-I-D. The squid, kind of a strange little mnemonic, but it's going to be an incredibly useful tool to help us figure out how do I draw my way out of this problem. Those are the tools. Those are the 4 sets of tools that we are going to use as effective visual problem solvers. The first 3 are the basic built-in tools. The next 4 are the process of visual thinking. The next 6, called the 6 by 6 rule, the picture problem wheel, and the last 5, the squid, that's going to tell us how do I even think about what picture I would draw. And now, when we walk into a room and we've got a bunch of people looking at us, we will be able to pull out our toolkit and we will be able to say, with my little Swiss Army knife, my conceptual visual problem solving toolkit, I will be able to draw out a picture to explain any problem. Doesn't matter what that problem is. Any time. Doesn't matter whether we've had time to prepare or whether we've been asked to do something spontaneously. And anywhere. Whether we're in a home, whether we're in an office, whether we're in a conference room, whether we're in a bus stop. Looks a lot like a conference room, doesn't it? Bus, conference table. That's the big difference. Anywhere. These will be the tools that are going to help us be visual problem solvers.